we had a litmus test, I know it would have showed up the racists, who are very few and far between. Let me explain. So we had a situation here. It went on a week or two. There was a court case. Now, a lot of it was because victims were involved. It was sub judice, so names couldn't really be named. Now, it's not the first time names haven't been named when certain shocking events happen in Irish society, especially recently. So there was a little build-up as who. Anyway, here's the background. There was a taxi driver, and what he was doing was he was taking advantage of inebriated young women who were unfortunate enough to get into his taxi. The bottom line is he was accused and found guilty of rape. Now, there was a lag between the verdict, and I can guarantee you there was an element that were expecting a foreigner. Okay, they were waiting for the name so that they could go ballistic and take the higher moral ground. This is a particular animal, and as I said, it's not unique to Ireland. And let me profile it for you. Yes, there are young ones that have been influenced by the older ones who we're going to talk about. So, there was a tension. And I would say a couple, if not more, of these guys were going around for the last 2 weeks saying to friends and close members of family, "I betcha that's a foreigner. I bleeding betcha." All right. But when the verdict was given of guilty, it was announced it was a local taxi driver from Dublin, from an area in Dublin. And he was a guy with an Irish name. Well, TikTok City went very quiet. You could feel the tumbleweed blowing across. And I guarantee you that would have been a flaming Moses bush about to explode like the opening scene, if you're old enough to remember the map in Bonanza, when the fucking flames used to fly out of that map. That's what was happening. There was a powder keg there. Now let me again profile for you largely who I believe these people would be. They tend to be middle-aged to older, wishy-washy, non-blokes, fellas, old fellas, right? And when they explode, what they don't realise, but if you actually went into the psychology of it, is they are more angry with their own lack of achievement in life than they are with Ahmed Abdul or Winston Kadogo or whoever it may be. All right? That's what it's really about. It's about a frustration. Now, by the way, in the round, if you looked at their lives, they probably have succeeded. They've raised a family. Maybe they've kept their marriage together. But a hell of a lot of them are underachievers. They're people who begrudge. And they're people who judge. And I'm telling you, that's your racists in Ireland. It's those owl fellas that were waiting for the verdict to be given and that they would be vindicated that it was a foreigner. These are the fuckers that you saw in Belfast during the Troubles, who were well behind the lines of rioters, but would be shouting out, "Go on, give it to them, give it to the Brits, go on!" But they'd be well out of range, okay? They're also the first guys that if a shot was fired, they'd be the first under the bed. They are few and far between. They exist worldwide, and they are your Irish racists, or your far right, as the government, who likes to human fly tip on people here in Ireland, like to put it, the far right. And when I say human fly tipping, it's the equivalent of what they're doing at the moment, because it's unfair to both parties. Those who are being bussed in at night, why else would you do it? Isn't that's how a fly tipper operates? Yeah? And then imposed, thrown, dumped, if you like, on an unconsulted community of locals. What the fuck? Where did that fridge come from? Where did that frickin' bus full of 200 young fellas? I won't give it the military age thing. That's done to death. But it is very suspicious.